Hello and welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. With me, as always, are Seth Lilly, Dan Barron, Addie Gia, I'm Tommy Cotton, and before we get into the actual play and the recap of what happened last episode, I'm gonna pass it over to Addie. Do we have any announcements today, Addie?
So last week, we released our extended edition of the Quick Start Guide for Manifest. So all of our backers and pre-orders, people who've pre-ordered, uh, should have received their link to it. So if you're interested in getting your hands on the Manifest Quick Start Guide, head over to BackerKit. Tommy's going to drop that link and put in your pre-order today. The shop is closing very soon, so make sure that you put your order in before you can't for a little while. That's that. Also, as always, we are here on Twitch, and if you love the content that we bring you here, you can always subscribe to our channel. Any and all proceeds that we get from those subscriptions go right back into the channel. So like art and music, sandwiches for hungry cast members. We uh, we want to make this experience the best that we can for you.
I can see Dan being like, I ain't never got a sandwich.
Where are these sandwiches at?
Guys, get Dan some sandwiches.
Exactly.
How would we
Hashtag Dan
acquire the
needs a
sandwiches?
sandwich.
This is a production meeting. Never mind.
Hold on, I'm sorry. It's hashtag Danwich, and we all know it.
So yes, and if you are a Amazon Prime subscriber, you in your Prime subscription get one complimentary Twitch Prime subscription to one channel of your choice. If you love us enough, you can always make us that channel. You can go and hit the subscribe button below. Also, if you don't have the means or time to subscribe, you can always hit that follow button, and you'll get info on when we go live, which is great because then you'll never forget. So that's that. We're also posting all of our videos of this campaign onto YouTube. So if you missed an episode or you want to go back and relive the good old days versus the Dead Man's Gang, you can go and do that. And I believe Tommy's going to drop that link, but I think that we're Manifest the RPG if you search that on YouTube. Over the past 3 or 4 months now, we've been we've been letting you guys know of some awesome organizations and charities that we love and support. And we have been asking you to, if you have the bandwidth, to share your time, money, or platform to share these really great causes. The world is nuts, and we would encourage you to help if you can. We do as much as we can. And so there's some really great orgs. The one that's a passion of mine is blackmamasmatter.org. Uh, Black women and women of color are 4 times more likely on average to die during maternity or during the postpartum period because of lack of advocacy in our healthcare settings in the United States. Blackmamasmatter.org provides advocacy and guidance for those women who are very much in need. And it's uh, a wonderful source. We've also got the Trevor Project, which supports LGBTQ plus people, and with an emphasis on young people. A lot of like suicide prevention and education and awareness. We've also got the Rain with 2 N's, which is just a wonderful organization that supports um, people who have gone through abuse and rape and kind of all kinds of really, really bad stuff, and it gives them provides them safe places to stay and helps them kind of deal with their trauma. And Tommy's got a bunch of other links. He's going to post them in the chat. But if you if you want to find out more about any of the other orgs that we've highlighted over the past couple of months, you can go and actually watch the beginning of our other episodes, because I talk about them a lot. Thank you for all that you do. If you can, and if you can't do anything, that is okay. You should take care of you. Self care is important. Um, so, other than that, I think the only thing left is that we are on social media. Oh no, my camera's all choppy. Eek. Yeah. So we are on social media, and you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and not really Instagram. Um, and you can also find us here and on YouTube, like I said before. You can also find us on Kickstarter and on nope, not and BackerKit, and that's all Manifest the RPG except for here, which is Waypoint Live, and that's, I think, everything. So back to you, Tommy. Ah.
All right. I heard my mic might be clipping a little bit. They said it in the stream chat. Hopefully it's a little better. I did a cycle on it, so we'll see. But before we get fully into the actual play, we have a sweet little intro that shows all this character art. So let's go ahead and watch that and get ourselves ready for Manifest Actual Play. All right. I've also adjusted my camera slightly so the dog is more in frame for everyone's viewing pleasure. All right. So, last time on Manifest Actual Play.
Fucking episode.
Kinsey, Pax, and Roland have been in Tobias Station in the middle of the Badlands for some time now. They've been working towards the ultimate goal of overthrowing the corrupt Captain Morales, the captain of the security team. They've been working towards that. They bought a saloon. The saloon is pretty successful. It's in the lower levels of the station. They've been making some connections and some friends. They've been in the station for about 3 months, a little over 3 months. And a couple things happened. One thing is they found a dead body in the vents, and the dead body turned out to be the friend of a member of the crime syndicate known as the Family. The family member in question is named Salem Bahara, and he hired these three drifters to investigate his yes, the chat says friend. It is a former lover. Investigate the death of Ephraim. Sergeant Ephraim. I thought I wrote down his full name. Did I give you guys a last name yet? I don't think so. Ephraim's murder is what their job was. They had to investigate his death and figure out who was behind it, because Salem Bahara suspects perhaps somebody close to him was doing it, because not a lot of people approved of his relationship with Ephraim. What happened immediately after that was Pax was confronted by a face we haven't seen in some time. Marshal Leonard Yen from the Alana Sheriff's Department showed up in Tobias Station and revealed that he has been tracking the only living member of the Dead Man's Gang still out there, Sierra Phillips. He was tracking her because she has been hired by the Gatti family as an assassin. And these three drifters also did betray the Gatti family. So basically those, as Roland so eloquently put it, two vendettas kind of tied themselves together and came after them. Kinsey was kidnapped by Sierra Phillips, taken out of Tobias Station, and then Pax and Roland split up to address the situation. Roland deciding to pull on what threads they had discovered in Tobias Station thus far in order to hopefully find some allies that they can use to save Kinsey. And then Pax and Marshal Yen made their way to the rendezvous point to break Kinsey out. When they during this time, Kinsey discovered he had a strange connection with his jackalope, the ability to telepathically link with it, and because of that, he was able to keep Pax and Yen safe for the journey there. And then once Pax split off from Yen and Umbra, the jackalope, to sneak up on Sierra. Yen was shot with an arrow as he charged in to save Kinsey, fell off the jackalope. Umbra immediately got to releasing Kinsey from his binds. Pax stepped out to confront Sierra and took an arrow to the throat. She was shot. She took an injury, a class 4 injury. The arrow went through her throat, like kind of slitting it, and she started bleeding out. But that didn't stop her. She then leapt over the chasm and confronted Sierra face to face. And between her and Kinsey and Marshal Yen's revealing that he has a very powerful pistol in his possession, the same pistol that the Dead Man's Gang was after all that time ago, they were able to kill Sierra Phillips, Pax dealing the final blow with that gun of legend. However, Pax is still bleeding out. She is taking damage, and that's bad. But also, Roland, while he was on the station, confronted Gray Foster, started laying some groundwork to getting Gray Foster on their side against the Gatti family, and is basically roaming around the station with a pack of outlaws, scavengers, to basically continue, like, breaking down barriers and trying to make establish some semblance of like power in the system. But we're going to pick up with right where we left off, where Pax, you shot the gun, it rang out, you looked and you see it's the gun from the lockbox that Marshal Yen has produced from a compartment in his mechanical arm. And then things start to go fuzzy as you take a point of hit point damage. The class 4 injury, bleeding out, primarily deals with things in combat turns. But once we break into a narrative, instead of it being combat turns, which is like a handful of seconds, now it's going to be matters of minutes. So about roughly every minute, you're going to take another point of hit point damage until you're dead.
Cool.
Kinsey, I believe at the very end of the fight, you were knocked off of a cliff edge and you are hanging there. With Sierra Phillips dead, Umbra very quickly like moves and like gives you an antler to help you up.
Yeah, I take the antler and jump on his back, and then immediately direct him to get to Pax.
Pax is right there, so it's not, you don't even have to drag him.
He's at the top. She's at the top. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, she's right there. She actually like probably is at this point is starting to feel the fact that she is bleeding profusely from the throat. Pax, how are you reacting right now?
Not great. Yeah. So, I'm gonna like I blink really hard and I like kind of like paw at Kinsey a little bit.
All right. Hey, come here. Lay down. Can you sit down? The wound is on her neck, correct?
Yeah. Her throat has basically been slit by an arrow.
Right. All right. So we want to just lean against me if you can. Look, just right here. All right. You're okay. You're fine. And then I'll put pressure on the wound as much as I can.
Okay. At this point, Marshal Yen kind of realizes what's going on, and he yells, "Pax!" and like starts like clambering his way up. He has to like kind of backtrack a little bit to get to an area where he can start like climbing his way up to the elevated position where you and her are. But he's got a little ways to go before he can rejoin you.
Wait, look! Does she have any first aid kits or any first aid cubes? Look in the bag.
Yeah, you direct his attention to where her bag is kind of shoved in the corner where she was controlling the stealth drone from, and he like slides down from his perch and like rushes over to it. You see he does have like a broken arrow sticking out of his chest, and he's like moving pretty like slowly, but it doesn't look like it went deep enough. It looks like his armor did soak a decent amount of it, but he definitely is like moving with like a strain from that injury.
He's fine. It comes with the job.
Yeah. He's not letting him like it's slowing him down, but he's not letting it slow him down more than is absolutely necessary. As he like stumbles over and like rips open the bag and like looks up to you. Pax, take another hit point damage.
There she is.
And he goes, she's got some cubes and a med kit. And he like he comes running over and like starts tossing supplies up to you.
Yeah, right. I catch one. My jackalope catches one. I catch the third one.
Yeah, he throws like the med kit, and then he throws like something else, and then he just like spins and like tosses the entire bag up. You get a standard quality med kit, and 3 first aid cubes.
Right,
I'd like to use those to save Pax if I can.
Pax did say she grabbed everything in our bar when she came for you, which I can't imagine doesn't include the excellent quality med kit I built a while ago.
That seems totally reasonable. There's no need to like flashback for anything like that.
Sure.
That was
a person.
It would be in the saddlebags with Umbra.
Oh, perfect! Awesome. I'd like to use that then. That will give me a better bonus, and I'm going to start fixing her with all of the tools available for me.
Okay, so the conditions are very bad. You're in the middle of the Badlands. It's like there's no like you've not established like a sterile environment or anything like that. So if you are jumping to treating the injury, are you treating the injury or are you trying to heal hit points right now?
Treating the injury, I think, is if I treat the injury, then I can heal her hit points later on.
Yeah. The hit points is just buying time, basically. Right.
Exactly.
The injury is the final thing. So with the conditions being as bad as they are, including the fact that you're missing a finger,
that's right.
You get Pax ready and like you have the pressure on the wound, you start getting the supplies laid out, and we'll go ahead and say Pax, lose another hit point. As Marshal Yen makes his way, clambers his way up to try and assist you in whatever way is necessary. But going into this, you are going to be at, we'll say, a -4.
I'm going to go it strong.
Okay.
I would like to flashback.
Okay.
Because I imagine that's the only way I can use motivational speaker on this test.
Oh!
Wow.
Yeah, no, that is an extremely creative use of flashback. You get that for sure.
That's perfect.
I love it. Oh, I fucking love it.
Yeah, okay. I think it is like... It's like the second or third day in which we've owned this bar. And me and Kinsey are like putting something together. And Pax has gone out to, look for crime stuff. Or I don't know. Keep track of what Pax gets when she leaves.
Right.
Yeah, and I think... Hey, Kinsey. It occurs to me, we've spent a lot of time together now. And a great deal of it has been sort of like... I'll give you a hard time, when you say things that are just a little
Really?
unwise.
I haven't noticed. I thought you were just trying to be helpful.
Sure.
Oh, was it sarcastic the whole time?
Let's just move on. And it does sort of occur to me that I may ruin this by letting you in on the secret. So, like, Pax works great as a tool with which to threaten someone, because Pax is quite obviously dangerous. She's usually carrying a very big gun, or a large shield, or a
Several
bow,
knives, usually, yes.
several knives appearing from the shadows.
Right. Terrifying.
Unseen, unheard. And you've got your very nice gun, and you look like you know your way around it. And you've, out in the woods, you know things about animals to keep people alive. But I've sort of always considered my secret weapon, our secret weapon, is that to the untrained observer, based on the way we interact, people think you're not that bright. Which is unequivocally untrue.
Oh, that's very kind. I always, assume, you make a good point. You standing next to me, the comparison is, you're definitely the smart one.
Right, and I sort of count on that as, no doubt, at some point in the future, a key moment will come up. Someone will think that you are an idiot. And it will cost them their life. And I just wanted you to know that I do consider you to be quite smart. I mean, you picked up reading extremely fast, even if most of the words are smut-based at this point.
And moon-based, a lot of moon words as well.
A weird intersection of vocabulary, for sure. Yeah, I just,
That's incredibly kind of you, Roland. I always thought you... Well, I always assumed that you thought that other people thought I was stupid, but I never thought that you thought that that was useful.
Oh, it's incredibly useful. Now, if you can just help me weld this together.
Cool. Should I hold it or... Alright.
Alright. Roll motivational speaker. Fantastic.
This is such a good roll. I think by flashing back here at all, I have abandoned the dream of the flashback within a flashback within a flashback.
You could maintain the dream of a flashback within a flashback, though.
I might, but I'd rather have my friend.
Aww.
That's so sweet.
So I will play to the gallery to count. I will play to a lower gallery to count this 12.
So
which
it
then
explodes.
explodes. Aha. That is a 13, which is my original target.
Oh!
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so when you play
Wow.
to the gallery, both your original target and the new target both explode. So if you play to the gallery into your original target, it still explodes.
Okay. Take a +7.
Bah! Fuck you.
Yeah, also, Kinsey, you don't have to go at strong until after you roll. Just so you know.
That does... Alright, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, without going at strong, the target is 14.
If that's correct.
Yeah, I've given you a net +4.
Yeah.
Or sorry, a net +3. You said a -4, Tommy?
It was a -4, yeah.
Yeah,
So I've given you a net +3.
Marshall Yen gives you one more bonus.
All right. Targets of 15. I'm sure I can't fuck this up. I'm positive.
Why would you say that?
Dear God.
I just want Grit to be extremely nice to you for mechanical benefit. Why would you say those words out loud?
Yeah, Marshall Yen rushes over and says, like, looks and sees, like, the blood coming out, and he goes, "How can I help?"
Here, take this. Hold it to her neck. A good amount of pressure. Don't choke her.
Right, no. Believe it or not, ain't my first time with a slit throat. You're gonna be fine, Pax.
No.
And then, like, he, like, kind of, like, stands off to the side and is, like, putting pressure on her throat. Pax loses a hit point.
All right. I think the easiest way to do this, I am going to spend 2 grits to play to the gallery to count the 16. And that is 5 successes.
That's what you need. You need 5 successes in order to successfully treat the injury.
And I don't have to go strong, right? So that I want to take those back and just mark those down. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think you had to spend to play to the gallery because Marshall Yen also gave you 1. So
no, that made my target
4.
15 there.
Yeah, 11 minus 4 is 7, plus 7 is 14.
14.
Plus
1 is 15.
Is 15. So
I played to the gallery to get that
16.
16.
Oh, 16. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Pax, the spots are appearing in your vision. You can see Marshall Yen looking at you wide-eyed, but like kind of like his breathing is surprisingly like steady at this moment. As he has like the like pressure, like the pad pressured on your throat. He's got his hand against the pad against your throat and your hand there, and then his other hand on top of it. As you and he hold that there, and he's like, "Just look at me. It's gonna be fine." And then Kinsey, you like take out Roland's med kit. You reconfigure it and like have it like scan Pax's like throat. From afar, it gets like kind of like a sonic imaging of like the like depth and like length of the gash, and it starts like popping up with like recommendations, and like it already starts like nano printing some like the like proper tools, and then like you like pull out like a section of it, and like Marshall Yen looks at you, you look at him, and like he's like, "All right, we're just gonna ease off here, Pax, just a little bit." And like he pulls the wound off, and Pax, like everything like starts to fade. You feel extremely cold as the pressure comes off and the blood starts gushing again. And Kinsey, you immediately get in there and you like spray a substance on it that kind of starts coagulating the blood, so the blood flow gets a little like easier. And then you start like going to work on it. And within the next like 2 minutes, you're working on that, and Pax, you're like starting to feel a little bit better. At a certain point, like the pain, you get injected with like a numbing agent, so like you have this weird sensation of like your neck, like the front of your neck being really numb and cold, and your like fingertips are extremely cold and your toes are extremely cold. And then after a minute, like they start getting a little bit warmer, and and like Kinsey, you like finish on the second part, and then you work on like the skin graft across the throat to like kind of like put a synthetic skin temporarily on her throat until it completely heals. And you like set that on, and then like you and Marshall Yen completely covered in blood, like all the way up to the elbows on your chest, like completely covered. Pax soaked in her own blood. Pax, the injury is treated, and you can erase that class 4 injury, and you are fine.
Pax.
I mean,
Pax, come on, Pax.
Yeah. Okay.
I think she's fine, Kinsey.
I just have to Are you here? Are you here? Are you okay? What is my name?
Kinsey.
Hey, alright. What's his name?
Leonard.
He like grins at that.
Welcome back.
Gave us a bit of a scare there.
Sorry to cut in real quick, but I don't want to forget. I do believe I just helped someone solve a problem using my wits. We all get an extra.
Yeah!
Yes, you A predator was evaded if you count death.
No.
The predator to us all, Kinsey McSharp.
What about I did not hesitate to make a dangerous course of action because I could have killed Pax. There was a very real chance.
Yeah. You initially roll 4 dice. If 2 of those come up 20, that's bad.
Woo.
All right. Pax,
Um,
you're feeling a little shaky.
I
But
have 2 hit points left, so yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, can I try and heal her hit points now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do so.
That takes a little bit of time. Pax, what were you going to do?
Oh, I was gonna like reach up to like Kinsey's face and then like bring him down and just like kiss him on the forehead. He did good.
You're a fighter, you know? I couldn't lose you if I tried.
Also, your finger is in the ice box. I saved it.
Thank you. I'm. Maybe we'll try and sew it back on.
It is your finger, right? It looks
Yeah,
like your finger.
it's it's my finger. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, lay back to here, Leonard, and I'll pass her kind of over to Leonard so that she's still propped on something.
Yeah, he'll put an arm around her and hold her up.
And I'm gonna try and heal her. Do I still have my negatives?
So the injuries like severity kind of affected that a little bit, so it's only -3 now.
All right.
Because the blood flow has stopped. That was part of the negative. Before there was a torrent of blood coming from her.
Okay, I am in my element, and I think I'm going to have to use both of those reliability.
Thank God this wasn't your injury roll.
No kidding. Are you kidding me? Lots of 16s and 17s. It's not fun. Well, it's 2 successes.
Okay,
I like to think the end of the flashback we just did is like, can you just like help me weld this up? And he just like cuts right through it with the welding spurt.
That's what you wanted, right?
Sure.
We can use it in a corner. So with 2 successes, that still heals 5 hit points because you're using a med kit. So the med kit automatically heals 3. The 2 more successes makes it 5.
Good.
Yeah, so Kinsey basically takes like a blood sample, and then like as like you're sitting there, and Kinsey's like synthesizing and do like basically replicating your blood to like give you like an influx of like some fluids that can like make you feel a little bit better. Leonard's got his arm around you. He's like holding up. He's like, "You all right?"
Yeah.
And then he like slides his hand over towards your hand and then cups the gun in your hand and goes, I'll take this back then.
Okay.
All right. He just kind of like sets it down next to him.
Why do you have it?
I guess Roland got in my head. He said, putting it up, bringing it back to Alanastead wasn't necessarily going to keep it secure. So I ended up. I mean, I brought it back and made it known that I had it, but then once people started talking about what to do with it, I realized I couldn't risk it. It was going to end up in someone's home, and that someone's home was going to get robbed, especially as long as Sierra was still out there, right? The whole Dead Man's Gang was looking for this thing, so I figured it was safest with me. So, I mean, my captain wasn't happy about it, but ultimately, I got to maintain control over it, at least, pending Sierra's capture or demise.
Okay. Are you okay?
Am I okay? Yeah. And he looks down and goes, oh. And he sees the arrow sticking out of his chest. He goes, yeah, I mean, it's... Kinsey can get to it later. It's fine. I just... knocked the wind out of me is all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't worry about me. You just worry about you.
Okay.
And Kinsey, you finish synthesizing some blood for Pax, and you basically put her on an IV and get a little bit more blood in her system so that she feels a little bit stronger, a little bit more herself. And as you're that's being done, Marshall Young kind of leans back and goes, Kinsey, whenever you get a chance.
Oh, right, the arrow. Forgot about that here. Come here, Umbra. And I'll prop Pax against Umbra, laying down in a cute little U position. Kind of like that dog in the corner there.
Yeah, sure. Pax, you're able to lean up against Umbra. You look over, Umbra's big, brown, amber eyes are looking at you. And you get you give him some scritches, and he reaches down and sniffs at your knee a little bit, and then kind of nibbles at your pant leg. I mean, nothing you're not nibbling, biting, more kind of
trying to figure out if I had food or anything. I was like,
I mean, if you have food, he'll always take it. But yeah, Kinsey, Marshall Young's playing down his injury. It's very bad. He's not bleeding out, and he hasn't lost a limb, but some might call him a sitting duck. As this arrow is lodged right in between his rib cage and is dangerously pressing up against his lung.
Oh, okay. Don't breathe a little more shallowly. If you breathe in too much, you're gonna move it around.
I'm trying to.
You're all right. Okay. No. I'm going to have to take it out though, so prepare yourself for this.
Yeah, I kind of think I prefer it that way. Actually, I don't like it in there.
Yeah, not ideal. And the arrows aren't barbed or anything, right? I can just pull it out, take a chunk of skin.
That was not a barbed arrow. Very, very intelligent to check. She did have barbed arrow in her inventory, but she did not shoot him with a barbed arrow. No, this one is a hammerhead arrow. Or not a hammerhead, the other one, the broadhead.
Oh, sure. Still at a -3?
Yes.
Great. All right. That's 3 successes.
Okay. That's not enough to treat the injury.
Great.
But it is enough to reduce the number of rests that he has to take. So basically, you do manage to extract the arrow, but it is much deeper than Pax's wound. Pax's wound was deep for sure, especially around the throat area. But it wasn't a pierce, right? It wasn't straight in. And so you have a little bit more trouble adequately using the med kit that deep in, because like you don't want to like make big incisions and open them up or anything like that. So you're trying to work within the whole, and you did like a decent job, but you think probably like Roland might have done a better job. But ultimately he feels and looks better. He's like, oh, thanks. Still a bit sharp when I breathe in, but like I said, better out than in.
That's right. Yeah, especially when it comes to arrows. Yes. Just don't breathe too deeply. I think if we'll get you back into town, and hopefully a little bit of bed rest. It'll help heal up a little quicker.
All right. Thanks, Kinsey. And he like puts a hand on your shoulder. And I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know why I'm here. I've been tracking Phillips for a while now. She's working for the Gattees. They brought her in as a Jimmy, and I've been trying to track her down because I didn't like anyone in the Dead Man's gang still being out there.
Yeah, that's neither.
Well, I heard she came to Tobias Station, and then a little bit later I got a message from Pax, and I realized she had to come here for you guys, but I realized too late. If I could have stopped it. If I had just caught up with her a little faster, none of this would have happened.
It could have been a lot worse if Pax hadn't messaged you at all. So I never thought I would say this, but I'm very glad that she did that, and I suppose I'm glad you're here, Leonard.
All right. Happy to be here. Lost a finger, huh?
Yes, I haven't quite decided whether I want Roland to sew it back on, or should I get a bionic one? How do you like yours?
And he like raises up his arm, like kind of moves his fingers, and he goes, I mean, it's fine. It ain't the same. The sensors are muted, which can be a benefit in a gunfight, but a real killer when you're trying to make coffee in the morning.
I'd imagine. Yeah, why don't you hop up on Umbra? I think you and Pax will ride, and I think we're just going to take our time getting back into town.
All right. I mean, we got any gestures. There is the mechanical horse that you were brought here on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Got the 2 transports. I mean, I don't think we should try and double time or anything.
No, absolutely not. But might be quicker than walking, at least.
Right. Meanwhile, in Tobias Station.
Roland gets to talk, finally.
Roland, when we last left you, you were exiting the upper crust, heading back into the body of the station. You are accompanied by Marvin, Earl, Bender, Lena, and Roxy. Your motley crew of lower level criminals. You walked through like a stairwell to another door, like in a connecting door into the center of the hall, into like the first, like the highest level of the central station. Mm-hmm. You slide it open, and there's some people waiting for you. You know that you're being followed by members of the security team. That was obvious enough as you were walking your way through the upper crust.
Some would say intentional, even.
Yeah, and the door slides right open. And you see 5 more people standing in front of you. All of them are members of the security team, and right smack dab in the middle of them, looking right at you, is Leo Riggs. He is standing there pretty casually. The rest of them have their guns ready. His gun is still in its holster. He's got his other hand like kind of like hooked on his belt. He looks at you through those kind of like green tinted spectacles, and he goes, "Captain would like a word."
Well, all right then. Can I finish the errands I must attend to today? Or will the security force be reimbursing me for lost funds for my business?
You can take that up with the captain. I'm to take you to her. And he looks over your shoulder and he goes, Roxy, Marvin. And they're both like, Mr. Riggs. Come along then, he says to you, Roland.
Great. I start walking there ahead of him.
Cool.
I know the way.
Yeah. So you walk by him. He walks off. All of your gang is all like standing there. Like they look. You like glance over your shoulder or like catch a reflection. Like in some way, you suddenly are able to look back at them. They're so relieved that they don't have to decide where they stand in that fight. You see it. You don't have to roll at all. You are good at reading people. They were about to be so like, oh no, what do we do? So you know they like you catch like. You catch Marvin's face. Like, he makes eye contact with you, and he gives you a little bit of a nod.
Great. I'm glad they understand that I've already paid them, and thus either they continue to work for me, or they owe me.
Leo and the other 4 guards lead you through the station to Morales's quarters. Probably takes at least 5 minutes, at most like 8 minutes to walk this distance.
Okay.
Yeah, Leo doesn't say anything to you while you walk. No one says anything.
Yeah, none of these people are the ones I need to convince of anything.
Okay. So you are led to Morales's quarters, as you understand them, and the rest of the security team kind of fans out, and Leo Riggs walks in with you, and you enter it. It's the interior, at least the interior, based on the size of it seems like it's probably a little bit bigger than a normal sheriff's office. It's built into the framework of the station like everything else, but the ceilings are a little taller. There's not holding cells here. There's actually a doorway in the back, and there's a couple doorways that connect to this room basically, and there is a large like desk with like a large like metal cabinet behind it, and there's also like a couch and like looks like an LRC terminal built into the office, and sitting there with a cup of coffee in hand is Captain Morales. She looks at you with that kind of hard-line jaw, the short curly hair, and she gestures to the chair in front of her desk.
Sure, I'll take a seat.
And Leo Riggs moves over and sits on the couch.
Good for him.
And Captain Morales takes a sip of her coffee, finishing whatever she was reading. It's like an LRC printout. And she sets it down, looks up at you and goes, "Heard you just caused a bit of a scene in the upper crust, Hollis. What do you think you were doing?"
I was meeting a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm. She sets down her coffee and goes, "Now you see, when y'all strolled into town with all your drifter swagger, Kirby brothers trussed up and presentable, folks in towns were all manner of nervous. Hell, Leo told me it wasn't worth giving y'all a chance. He thinks drifters don't know how to settle down and live civilized. But what can I say?"
It's actually very important to me. I need to know if that is a lie.
Oh, sure. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, it's okay.
You're up against an 11.
I also have an 11.
Okay. So you can't get a read on, like, you're trying to tell if like that's true of Leo or if what she said is true.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a read on like So what I think is happening, regardless of what is true, like, I believe that she had the thought, I shouldn't give these guys a chance. I should just run them out of town now. I'm actually very curious if that was Leo's idea.
Sure. You're unable to tell. You think that was on the table. You can't tell whether or not Leo. What you can tell is that specific statement that Leo gave her, that was on the table, and it is definitely something she believes is what you're able to get, because she only got one net success over you. But whether
did I not get one net success over her?
No, because she would be the one who's actively lying to you.
Sure. Okay.
You were basically defending against her mistruth. So you definitely can tell that the whole Leo said this is just her doing the tactic of deflecting onto her henchmen. You have no idea whether or not Leo agrees with her or anything like that. You're not able to kind
it
of
wouldn't matter if Leo agrees with her or not. I believe that he is a loyal lackey, but it's telling of their relationship and what their dynamic is like. If she's if her thing is listen, I'm the good guy here, and Leo is the bad guy. I'm the good guy, right? That's what I'm trying to understand.
So even with her only getting one net success, you kind of get a sense of that kind of thing at play. And so she continues speaking, saying, but what can I say? I'm a little soft. So I let y'all have a go at it with your swanky saloon. And for months, you and yours have been model citizens. And I was happy for the chance to prove Leo wrong for once. So, imagine my disappointment today. And she gives you a moment in case you want to say anything, otherwise she'll keep talking. She takes a sip of her coffee.
Is there a pot of coffee and cups somewhere in this room?
No.
Yeah, no. I continue to sit there politely waiting for her to be done with her thing.
Okay, cool. And so she goes, now, I heard rumors that one of your friends went missing. And that's a travesty. I won't stand for it. But something like that is bound to make your blood boil. Get yourself all worked up and unbalanced, worrying for a friend. You're bound to start seeing enemies in every corner. A man gets in his head like that, he's bound to do or say something he'll regret. Now, think about this. You have one friend in the wind right now. Do you really think Pax will be able to handle it if something were to happen to you?
No, continue.
Let's talk straight here, Hollis. There are people in the station you don't cross. And you strike me as a smart fella. Someone smart enough to know who those people are. Severina Acosta is one of those people. Now, you got an axe to grind. You're on some kind of misguided crusade. You do not cause problems in my station to get your satisfaction. So you got a choice to make right now. You can sit in the cell next door, cool your heels, and then go back to running that very nice bar you have downstairs. Or you can leave to buy a station right now and never come back, because if you mean harm to the people of this town, my guards will have orders to gun you and yours down. But I know it won't come to that. I know you can be reasonable about this. Can't you?
Why do you think I have an axe to grind with Miss Acosta?
Parading those folk from the lower levels in the upper crust?
Ms. Morales, a friend of mine was kidnapped today. And your security force is notably quite light in the lower levels, and so I hired the protection that was available to me. Is this an unreasonable thing to have done in this situation?
Someone goes missing in the station, first person that should know about it is me.
Then why didn't you?
Because you turn to those scallywags in the lower levels walking around terrorizing the people in the upper crust. Now, we don't have to go back and forth on this.
Are they not allowed to be in the upper crust?
No.
My mistake.
Now, we don't have to dance around this. My people heard you say you was going to talk to the Acostas.
Yes. I have business to discuss with the Acostas, a family which notably does business in the station, of which I am a resident and own a business.
Right. And
Go
yet,
on, ask Leo if I'm lying. I turn to Leo. I do not have a single axe to grind with Severina Acosta. I mean her no harm.
I mean, that's not true though, right?
It is absolutely true.
Okay. Then yeah, you won't have to roll for anything. You're not manipulating. I mean, you are manipulating, but you're not lying.
It's the most dangerous kind of manipulating.
Leo sits there, doesn't say anything. There's just kind of like a moment where he sits there, and then he looks back towards the LRC screen and starts like pressing some buttons. And she goes, "Nonetheless, you understand my concern. Now tell me everything you know about the disappearance of Mr. Charlotte, and I will have my team work on that. And then, if you agree to go back to your saloon, cool your heels there. We don't need any more fuss today. Understood? I'll make sure there's some guards to keep an eye on you while you're down there."
God, 2 grit is not enough to make the play that I think I am about to make. Yeah, no. This is the day that I've been having. Kinsey has been kidnapped. I got his finger in the mail.
By orphan mail.
By orphan mail, even. The cruelest kind of mail. Miss Morales, I have business to discuss with Miss Acosta. It is rather pressing business, and I would like to be on my way today. I understand you've made it your mission to prevent me from continuing to do anything productive for the rest of today, while presumably your security team goes out into the desert hoping to find Kinsey dead or shoot him if he's not.
It's a hell of a thing to say, Roland.
Yes, it is. It's also true.
She like sizes you up a little bit and goes, "Leo?" "Yes, ma'am." "Put him in a cell."
Well, Miss Morales, you've talked for quite a while and said a lot of things that are largely rubbish. Let me talk to you for a bit, just a small bit, and enlighten. There are people in this station who you do not want to cross. You've correctly gathered that Severina Acosta is one of them. I imagine you are one of them by extension of Leo, Mr. Riggs. I am another one of those people. I would
Leo,
argue I am the most dangerous man in this station, particularly for you.
Leo comes up and like stands behind you. She leans back.
And you're debating now whether to have Mr. Riggs just shoot me. And I can see it in your eyes that that's true. But you don't take care of most of the people in the station. In fact, you largely take care of just a small few. And some of them are quite powerful. But some of them are also my friends. And the rest of the people in this station like me quite a bit. And you could shoot me here and now. But that would make a much larger problem than you would have by simply letting me walk out the door unharmed. I've made it a point today that to be killed is to make a martyr. So, would you like to do that now, or would you like to go back about your day where things continue the way you like?
You can roll manipulate. Looks like you're up against an 11 again.
Come on, baby. That's a good roll. Does first impression? I don't think applies.
Nope, that was
does dress to impress apply.
Yeah. Yes. Not based on the like words of the like the talent.
It's because I dressed very fancy today.
It's because you were dressed appropriately for today, which is the actual mechanical effect of dress to impress. I must make it clear she is not impressed by how you were dressed. You are just dressed appropriate. For one thing, you are dressed like someone who might have friends in the family, which is very important to what you just said.
Okay, so let's use my. That's a very good reliability, and now the explosion. Okay. You said an 11?
Yes.
I have 3 net hits over an 11.
What's your highest?
14.
Okay, there's no grit way for me to manipulate that any further. Okay. So she you say all that.
You know what? Oh, God, I have to stop somewhere else today too. It's worth it because this is the one that means I get to go there. I twist the knife. I have 4 net hits.
Okay. So she like looks at you for a second, raises an eyebrow, glances up over to Leo, and then she goes, Mr. Hollis, I happen to do a fair amount of business with Miss Acosta myself, and she makes a point to let me know when and where her business takes place on the station. Now, she's never mentioned you before, or any of yours. I think you are looking to make some connections. Now, you bring up a good point. There is a non-zero element in this station that does not take kindly to the way I run things. People who don't understand the order of things and the nuance.
Disregard for their well-being. I understand.
The nuance of my position. Someone like you, friend of the lower levels, that's someone I could use. You want to be in business with Severina Acosta? I can make it happen. You just gotta be in business with me too. I get a slice of every pie. That's how it works. What do you say? I could get you a meeting with her tomorrow. As for this problem with your friend, I can iron that out.
Can I get a read on that statement?
Sure. What I guess ask me the question about because you got 4 successes, so you kind of have like some floating capital right now.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out how much she knows about Kinsey being kidnapped.
Oh, sure. She doesn't. She actually doesn't. You get with your 4 successes. She didn't orchestrate Kinsey's kidnapping. She was never even approached about it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not like she might be a little like haha fuck the drifters, but like but like in general like she what you get from this with your like 4 successes is like you've just impressed her. Your mark wasn't exactly on because she has done enough research on you to know you're not in business with Severina Acosta. But like now she has misinterpreted that as like you want to be, and she can make that happen. She has now turned from enemy to potential friend.
Great. I would like to. I don't know if I can do this within the number of hits that I have gotten. You tell me. I would like to like turn that. Oh, I get it. He's trying to be in business with Severina Acosta. I can make that happen. He couldn't already be in business with Severina Acosta. I want to turn that into how did I not know that he was in business with Severina Acosta? Who fucked up?
Yeah, I mean if you want to do that, that's a separate role. That one requires more. That would have been 5 successes.
Okay. Do I get the sense that if I left now, she would let me leave, or do I have to keep making nice to be allowed to walk out of here?
You get the sense that if you left now, she would let you leave. She would still probably, if you left without like agreeing to terms, or actually, no matter what, if she lets you leave, she's gonna have some people watch you.
People watch it all the time.
But like, yes, you could leave now.
Great. Ms. Morales, your offer is quite generous. I don't need it. I'm going to my meeting now. This was a lovely chat. And I get up and leave.
Yeah, you walk out, and then like before the camera cuts, she like turns to Leo and goes, "Keep an eye on that asshole."
Good. I want her guys to be following me all the way there.
Okay. Kinsey and Pax and Marshall Yen are able to load everything up on both the automaton horse and Umbra.
I pushed my luck despite a clear chance to fail.
Yes.
I'm taking my grit.
Yes, that's another XP for everybody, and Roland gets a grit. You're able to load everything up. Marshall Yen is more comfortable controlling the automaton horse than being on Umbra, so he'll jump on that. Are you guys heading back?
I think that's the plan for sure. Yes.
Okay, cool. You're more than capable of getting back. Your speed is whatever you're most comfortable with between Umbra and the mechanical horse. As you guys are walking, Marshall Yen goes, "So, opened up a saloon."
Yeah, we thought it was the best course of action. I mean, Pax smelled something funny in the station, so it was a good cover, for her to check it out.
Sure. I mean, everyone knows Tobias Station's run by the family.
I mean, most places are. I suppose we didn't know specifically at the time.
Yeah, it's from my understanding, it's a bit of a neutral ground. It's where the family they kind of, from what I gather, they use the station master and the security team to kind of enforce neutrality.
Oh, so it's not just the Acostas and the Sheffields then?
Oh no, it's everyone. I mean, even the Gutties got something going on here. Though, them grabbing you out of there, that's a bit rash. They might not have cleared that. Maybe they was thinking that your disappearance would go unnoticed.
I suppose, yeah, that is an interesting move. You wouldn't want to antagonize the other families. I mean, I can't believe that we've angered all 5 families so that they would all be like, oh yes, let's go against this person.
Well, they wouldn't necessarily have to give them the details of something like that, from what I understand. But they, yeah, I mean, the garden families, they don't have a whole lot of business in Tobias Station, but it is a very profitable way station for commerce. So, yeah, they all the families got a little bit of something going on here. The Gatees included. But mostly it's the Canooms, the Sheffields, and the Acostas that handle things here.
Sure.
But you guys, I forget, you told Marshall Yen that you were working for Salem Bahara, right? Or did that not come up?
No, it did.
Okay, I thought I remember that because I remember being like, oh my god, you're involved in families again. He goes, but you probably already know this, the fact that y'all are already working alongside another family. Are you planning on double crossing the Canooms as well?
I think as much as possible. We aren't trying to get any specific family on our backs for anything. So turning families against each other, that would just be put another target on our backs, and I don't think any of us want that.
I think it's mostly that, you know, we found the body, and are seen as capable. So, you know, hopefully it's a one and done sort of thing, and we can get back to whatever regular life is.
I feel like y'all would understand at this point. There's no one and done with the family.
Yeah, that's kind of why we were trying to stay away from them. I didn't know we had angered the Gatees so much that they would come after us. I'm a little bit surprised. Although I don't know why I'm surprised, I guess.
From what I tell, you walked away with some hardware after making a deal with them for something that was supposed to bring them a lot of money and power, and then you just left town.
It's not as though they didn't still make money off of that.
I don't think they did. I mean, no hard feelings or nothing. Obviously, you didn't go through with it, but I understand from my investigation so far that I was somewhat of a bargaining chip. And you rescuing and teaming up with me and then skipping town, they took a loss on that. And at that point, they're always gonna, you were gonna never be safe coming back in the garden.
Oh, that's why we stayed out of the garden.
Yeah. But, when they're angry enough, and, they found Sierra, so she has extra reason to care.
Mm.
He's got her slumped over the back of the automaton horse, by the way.
I was planning on taking her.
Yeah, he bound her to the back of the horse, and, her body is there.
Ooh. Well, if all 5 families are involved in Tobias Station, one of them is angry with us. There's no real escaping that. We might as well piss them all off, right?
No.
No, that didn't sound right.
No, if you got the protection of the Canooms, perhaps. Honestly, I can't. You guys have already started. I can't. There's not much more I can advise you on. At this point, you can't cut and run. You got to make good on your deal at least. But understand, the way the family works is they keep you on a string. And sometimes they let you go pretty far, but they're always waiting to pull you back. Your best outcome is to only get called on the Canooms every once in a while. Called on by the Canooms.
I really don't like that.
Ain't no other way around it. People have tried time and time again to get away from the family. I mean, at some point, I suppose some people have made it so costly to come after them. But most people don't have that skill set. And if you want a lot of blood and bullets down the way, maybe you can outrun this long enough for them to not care about you anymore and chalk it up to a loss. But family's all about reputation, right? There's got to be retribution for crossing them. The moment they can't make good on a threat, they lose clout. Now the Gatees losing clout in this instance, my guess is they might chalk it up to a loss. But now you're on the radar of all the family.
Well, that's just great. That's just wonderful. Well, I suppose the only thing I can think of is to meet up with Roland and hope that he can talk his way out of this.
If you got something that they want bad enough, give it up. Whatever it is.
Like that gun you have.
His face gets stony and he goes, they don't get this.
You say that now.
Pax,
I'm just messing with you. No. We're not going to take the gun from you. No, if anything, Pax is going to take it while you're sleeping. We won't hurt you.
What?
Like I said, it hasn't come to that yet, so don't worry.
Great. Duly noted, Kinsey. Pax, how you feeling?
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
I suppose awkward silence for most of the ride back after that. Unless there's a point where Kinsey and Pax, the two of you, talk well, because you are separated. I assume Pax is on Umbra, but yeah, because there's a dead body on the back of the automaton horse. So.
Right.
And it only seats 2.
Yeah. Kinsey, I don't want to. Everything's gotten so complicated, and I was, of course I wanted Morales, but it just feels like, I don't know. It feels like we're tied up in all these strings, and we're always just by the skin of our teeth. And
I mean, this is certainly more than we bargained for, if nothing else. It's just supposed to be a simple revolution. Why couldn't it have just been that?
well, I guess I didn't think it through when I said I wanted to do it, or something.
Something like that. I mean, all it takes is for you to see injustice happening, and of course we want to fix it. I mean, Roland and I were right behind you the entire time. I don't like the hierarchy of Tobias Station any more than you do.
Well, I don't even care about the family. They're gonna be everywhere.
Right.
I just don't think that Morales making a pipeline of training up kids and who can't really say no to it and then sending them off to the family. I don't think that's right, and I don't want world-ending change. I just wanted those kids to have a little bit of a better life where they were free, because I feel like I I lost that, and then I kind of never got it back. And I just thought that, like, I could give them something that I never had, you know? And like, and now it's all like, you never get away from the family, you're never truly free, or, bad people are everywhere. And I don't know, I just thought maybe we could find a good person, or a better person to like, who wouldn't just take advantage of everything, who cared about their actual people rather than, like, I guess probably the money they make. That's all I really wanted, and now there's like a dead body, and like the Gatees of like are gonna try and kill us forever unless we align with another family so we're safe. And like, I don't want to be a Jimmy. Like, I'm a perfect candidate for that, right? And I don't want that. But like, I feel like that's where this is going. And like, I like look at what they did to Sierra, and I mean, like, she wasn't a good person, but like that probably made it easier for her. I don't know. I don't want I just don't want this the way it is.
I think you're right. I think we know Sierra is a terrible person. She is just motivated by revenge, right? Because we happen to kill her boss and her friends or whatever, who are also terrible people. There's one thing that I know about you, Pax, that you are an incredibly good-hearted person. That's one of the many things that I very much admire about you. I don't think there is any chance that you will allow yourself to become a Jimmy for the family. And I don't care what it takes. I won't allow that to happen either. And I would guess Roland has the same feelings, even if he might compromise them to get out of a bad situation. And if none of us are going to work for the family, then, well, we aren't going to leave the situation like it is. And whether that means starting an uprising and going into hiding, or possibly splitting up and assuming new identities and never coming in contact again, whatever the solution is, working for the family is not part of it. I'm here for you. Roland is here for you. We are in this together. We're roadkill, aren't we? We'll figure this out.
Okay. You promise?
I promise with all my heart.
Okay. Stop being weird, and I like punch him.
Fair enough, sorry.
I was muted on the stream. Obviously, the two of you get grit for excellent roleplay. You're not too far from Tobias Station, but you still got a ways to go. Roland, what do you do after you leave Morales' quarters?
I am heading to Acosta territory.
Okay, so you know at least a couple of the hangars that the Acosta family uses.
Great. Once we are, like halfway there, I start to affect like a sort of like frightened and sort of like kind of semi-paranoid demeanor. I'm like looking over my shoulder a bit and just like generally looking as if I am worried about something and like feel like I'm being followed. And I look like a timid, lower levels businessman in his finest suit.
Cool. So yeah, you dishevel yourself a little bit. You like take off the hat and like mess up your hair and then like put the hat on so like it's like not perfectly underneath it. And then like you like kind of like you there's a point where someone would think you were really weird if they saw you, but like you go over in the corner and you like take off your jacket and you like wrinkle it up and like you put some extra creases in it so it doesn't look quite right, and like you just like untuck the shirt a little bit, like maybe you've been like moving really fast or something, like you just like ultimately just dishevel your attire just a little bit so it's less put together but still very nice. And by the time you make it to the area where you know they have hangars, you are like you've affected that personality, and as you move through, there is a woman who stops you. She's dressed not like super nice, but definitely like a little nice.
Her work jumpsuit is like extremely well fitted and has like stainless steel buttons.
So she's not wearing like a jumpsuit. She doesn't look like someone who works in a hangar. But she is here, and she is wearing, she's wearing like a nice jacket, but it's like kind of like casual, formal. And I'm cut in half. Addie is gone. Turns out Pax did die. Now I'm Pax. But I'm just gonna keep going and assume that Addie's gonna turn on her video in a minute. There we go. So she stops you for a second. She goes, "Yeah, right there, boss."
I'm so sorry. I'm looking for. I know this is her hangar. I need to speak with Severina Acosta. It's very important.
She like her eyebrows raised and she seems amused with this situation. Go ahead and roll manipulate. Let's see how well you play this.
I have to say the next sentence before I roll the dice, Tommy.
Of course.
I think someone's trying to frame her for murder.
Yeah, she does. Like she started like being amused and then she goes. Regardless of her reaction, she does let out a little bit of a laugh.
This is my first impression.
Mm-hmm.
Am I dressed appropriate for the situation?
Yeah. You specifically took time to adjust your socially adjustable armor to make it work. You are up against a 10.
I have 2 net hits over 10.
Okay. So she goes, "What's her name?"
My name's Roland Hollis.
All right. Roland, are you okay?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm being followed, and I like look over my shoulder, and there are a lot of security officers who are doing a bad job of hiding that they're following me.
You don't know that there's a lot of security officers that are doing a bad job at hiding from you.
I'm sorry, Tommy. I'm ready for anything, have very high observe, and the clear sight talent.
They're not doing a bad job. You do know you're being followed by security officers, but they're not like sitting there being like looking around the corner. You're in a hallway. They're not immediately available, but you assume they are probably, at least one of them is getting into a position to listen, if not already there.
So part of the reason I like riled up Morales a bit, I should have said this, and like what I assumed since I had left the upper crust was to like make them less concerned about covertly following me, so that they would be like, no, follow that guy.
Sure. Unfortunately, they're a little bit more competent than that.
That's fine.
I'll
assume this woman and her team is competent also.
Yes, they are. She like looks over your shoulder and goes, "All right, no need to worry. Here, come along, Roland."
Did the rest of my bodyguards just like leave when I got arrested for a minute?
Yeah, so they didn't follow. They you got separated from them.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, they nodded at you, but like there was like the other security team caught up with it. Like
Well,
you got
I will
you got
collect the
separated.
rest of my day that I'm owed later.
Yeah, they got separated from you, but they did respect your play. So yeah. She says, "My name's Lily. And this here is Sylvester." And like gestures to another man similarly dressed to her, not like in a uniform or anything, but he walks up. You can tell he's like got like guns like under his jacket, on his like hanging from his shoulders. And he walks up. He goes, "What's the problem, Lily?" "This is Roland Hollis. Roland Hollis is looking for Severina Acosta. Do me a favor, Sylvester. Go down that hall. Take a look around. Make sure Mr. Hollis didn't get followed." And he's like, "All right." And he like walks on. And she goes, "Mr. Hollis." Actually, I don't know if you said. Did you say your full name?
Yeah, I said my
okay,
full name.
okay. "Mr. Hollis, Severina Acosta is not available for you to meet her today. But if it is protection you seek, we can look after you for the day, and I will make inquiries. You tell me everything you know, and I will make sure Severina hears of it."
Yeah, okay, sure. So, we were doing some maintenance, just some general maintenance on our bar in the lower levels, and we found a dead body, and so we tried to figure out who it was, and we realized it was a marshal, and we made friends with some of the locals down in the lower levels, and turns out his name was Ephraim, and I guess he's known to be a friend of Salem Bahara, and we heard that he'd gone missing. I tried to look into the story a little bit, and I didn't go to the security team because almost as soon as we found the body and started trying to figure out who it was, they started showing up, just sort of following us. I think the security team is trying to frame Severina for killing Salem Bahara's friend.
Interesting. Why Severina? Why do you suspect that? Furthermore, how are you even aware of Severina's position and name?
I own a business on the station. You kind of just hear about who owns what and sells what, and who you need to pay attention to as being important when you own a business here on Tobias Station.
Very studious of you, Mr. Hollis. Very studious indeed. Listen. Do you need a place to stay?
God, the mental math on if I'm not at the bar when they get back, what happens is so challenging. I think to play this part, yes, I don't think it's safe for me to go back.
All right. We can find you a place to stay. We will keep you safe. I will pass along what you have said. And you will be dealt with accordingly. At that point, Sylvester does come around the corner again, and she goes, "How did it look?" He goes, "Just gotta do something to piss off the security team. At least 3 of them following him." She raises her eyebrow and goes, "Mr. Hollis, right this way." At this point, Pax and Kinsey, you make it back to the station.
I think for sure we need to take the marshal back to the bar, probably, so that he can sleep off his wounds. Or should we get him? Actually, we should probably get him a room. Would be smarter. So let's go ahead and drop off Umbra and the mechanical horse, I suppose, and let's walk him where we're going. I don't suppose the stable has a place to store a body.
No, but when Marshal Yen shows up, he does produce his badge from identifying him as an Alana Marshal,
Right.
and he goes, "If it's not too much trouble, we can. Would you mind keeping this body for the time being?" And between you and your clout with the stables and Marshal Yen's like official capacity of a marshal, they're like, "Yeah, no problem. You know, we got a room out back. We hardly ever use it. We'll go ahead and store it in there. Not too long though, Marshal." No. I'll make sure that it gets taken care of soon enough. I just need a place to stay. I don't want to cause a scene walking into the station. You understand? And they're like, "Yeah. You got it, Marshal." And they take Umbra, who before he leaves just walks over to you, Kinsey, and just walks up, lowers his antlers down so they're on either side of your head, and like presses his forehead against your forehead.
Oh, and I grab him like underneath and give him a little rub.
And then he like steps back, looks at Pax, and like kicks a little dirt at Pax, and then starts and then goes with them back into the stables. Where do you head from there? You guys basically exit the stables, and Marshal Yen goes, "Where to? Where do you think Roland's at? He mentioned that fella. He mentioned finding some friends."
Oh, yes. I didn't want to bother Roland with whatever he's doing. He does have a radio, though, doesn't he?
Do you guys have 2 radios?
We had 2 radios, and then the third one went with my sister.
Nice. Yeah,
And
sure.
I stole one off a dead guy.
Yeah.
So I think
I had the foresight to turn it off before I walked up to this, where I knew Kinsey would ruin it.
I won't make you spend grit to flashback. Yeah, Kinsey, you pull out the radio.
Roland. I mean, CQ. Friends, we are trying to. Rubbish. We're gonna meet up at the inn. Come to the saloon on you know where with you know which. We'll see you there. He knows what I mean, right, Bex?
I think it'd be hard for anyone not to know what you meant.
Thank you very much. That's not great. It'll be okay. It's fine. Let's take him to the saloon that we were frequenting when we first arrived. Or the inn, whatever it was.
Oh, not Umbra's?
I
Do you
mean,
want to come to Umbra's?
I'm just afraid we'll cause a bit of a scene bringing a bloody marshal into our bar, but if you think it's fine...
Oh, he was already there, actually.
We could wash off a little bit here at the stables, maybe. That's a good point.
let's do that. And yeah, I just know that you need some rest, my friend.
Yeah, so you guys spend a little bit of time at the stables. Like they give you access to. Yeah, basically, like he like takes off like his like shirt and his clothes and like rinses out like the blood. Marshall,
doing the Pulp Fiction.
A little cut. This guy's got a good athletic build. And then puts back. He's like he's like CW, like not like excluding Stephen Amell, like CW, like healthy. Yeah. So he like puts back on. Your clothes are still a little stained, but definitely a way better. And you're able to.
That's why they're black.
And you're able to like enter the station without looking like zombies. I mean, wherever you think we should meet up. I mean, I guess I suppose I don't need to stick around too much longer. I don't want to get up in your business, but I at least was hoping to take a day or two before I headed back. I gotta send some LRCs. Explain why I'm out here, that kind of thing.
No, not too many people know about our back room, and if you've already been seen entering it, I suppose there's no harm done if you decided just at least take the afternoon.
All right. And so the three of you walk down to the levels, and as you're approaching Umbra's, you do see kind of like awkwardly standing not too far from the door to Umbra's, there is Eli. It's been like, hey.
Hello, Eli.
Hey, Roland said y'all was closed, but it seemed like something was the matter. I just wanted to check and make sure everything was all right. You all right there, Ken? He says, like, looking at your, like, bloody, like, wrapped up hand.
Your concern is truly touching, Eli. Come on in for a drink, but we're not open quite yet.
He, like, seems to struggle with the math of that, like, nuanced, situation, and then goes, yeah! And so the two of you and Marshall Yen and Eli walk into Umbra's. And Eli kind of sits in one of his favorite stools. He does like to change it up from time to time. He doesn't have a singular stool, but he sits in his favorite stool. And you pour him a drink. And like Marshall Yen like kind of sits down, not directly next to Eli, but like at the bar. And he goes, Kinsey, if it ain't too much trouble, I'll take a drink too.
No, why not? I think we can all use a stiff glass of something after the day we've had. How about you, Pax?
No, thanks.
Do you want some plant juice?
I don't want plant juice, but if you
I've already gotten it,
If you have some other kind of tea or like not plant juice, I will take it.
Well, I'll make you some coffee if you like.
Okay.
And I'll fix the drinks first, and then I'll go to the back to make the coffee. So it leaves Pax and Marshall again and Eli alone to have a conversation.
It's silent for a minute. Eli's sitting there. He like sips his drink. He goes, "Sounds like a crazy day."
Yeah.
You're open, then you're closed, and then you're open again.
It's been a roller coaster. Are you okay?
Me? I mean, I'm in my favorite bar. And he like looks like that's like an answer.
Great. Glad to have you.
Something happened?
Yeah. But it'll be okay.
I don't know you, he says to Marshall Yan.
This is my friend Leonard.
Leonard Yan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Eli. Eli. Just Eli. You're a lawman. That I am. Mm-hmm. He leans over to you, Pax. Are you in trouble?
No.
All right. He leans back. Just stuff, right? Nice to meet you, Marshall.
God, that would be the best initiation of a challenge roll in the history of challenge rolls.
Yeah, and then Kinsey, you walk back out. It's very awkward.
Not surprising. And I'll give Pax a coffee. And I'll make myself a drink now that I've served my guests. I suppose, we just wait for Roland here?
Yeah, where's Roland? Eli says. Meanwhile, Roland. Lily leads you into like a kind of like housing area, and she goes, "Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, Roland? For your safety, we will lock you in. You'll find all the amenities you need. There should be food, drink, everything. This is a very nice house. And we will have people posted outside to make sure you are secure. But anything else you would like me to know before I pass along your message?"
I make a show of like stopping and trying to think and like looking like I'm struggling to put together thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's everything.
Okay. Well, and she like opens up the door, slides it open. You walk into like it's like a garden apartment. It's singular. It's basically built out like it's like a studio. It's got a bed. It's got a little kitchenette and like a refrigerator. And that's about it. No real other amenities except for a restroom. Which is actually nice. A lot of places in Tobias Station don't have restrooms, and there's like public stations nearby. Like basically they call them outhouses even though they're interior. But this
They're
one,
outside of your house.
yeah. But this one in particular has its own restroom.
Got an indoor outhouse.
And she goes, "You go ahead. You rest up. There is whiskey in the cooler. Go ahead, have some drinks. Relax. You are safe now. The Acostas will take care of you."
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And she like shakes your hand awkwardly and is like, "All right. Rest. You will hear from us tomorrow." And she steps out and door shuts and locks.
Are hidden cameras a reasonable thing to like check for on Manifest?
Honestly, when you're dealing with the family in this exact situation, I don't think it's entirely unreasonable. Unlikely to a point, but like not impossible.
Great. Yeah, I will look for hidden cameras under the guise of, am I still being followed?
Right. Yeah, go ahead and roll observe. I guess we'll put it at a -2 because you're trying not to be obvious about it.
Okay. I'm very good at blend.
It can be blend. Yeah. Absolutely. You can definitely roll blend. Still at a -2 though.
Sure, I'm very good at blend. Is this opposed?
No.
Cool, I have 5 hits.
There are no hidden cameras in here. You are 100% confident there's no hidden cameras in here.
Great. Basically, I will relax. And then every hour and a half, I pour a drink's worth of whiskey out of the bottle and just like into the sink.
Nice. Just right in the toilet, flush it down. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Kinsey and Pax, you've waited. The evening is continuing on. There is no sign of Roland.
I've been trying him maybe every 20 minutes to see if he responds on the radio.
You don't turn on the
CQ, Roland, sorry, we didn't come up with a call sign for you, but CQ, if this line is clear, we are still waiting for you at the Hoppin' John. Hoppin', if you understand.
I think I do. I will try the radio at some point.
Okay.
Because like now that I've like an hour or so after, I'm sure there's no like cameras or like listening devices or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go to the bathroom and I turn on the shower.
Yeah. So there's like a point where it's you've done it a bunch, Kinsey, and Eli is like. Eli finishes his drink pretty quickly, and he goes, you say you're not open. And he pulls out a spur and sets it on the table and slides it across the bar and goes, but are you?
Take the spur and I say, for you, Eli, anything. And I'll make him like a whiskey spritz or something.
Yeah, what chance would have it? Eli does eventually, now that you're serving him, he does go and put a song on the jukebox.
Yes!
Oh God, what does he put? So he doesn't accidentally put on a Bobby Klein song because that's a very specific situation.
Yeah. Yes.
I think he puts on a Jerry Rivers song. I guess. All right. He puts on a Jerry Rivers song and sits down and grabs his drink, and Jerry Rivers' somber tone echoes through the bar. We clawed, we chained our hearts in vain. We jumped, never asking why. We kissed, I fell under your spell of love. No one could deny. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. Can't live a lie running for my life. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. Never hit so hard in love. And Eli's like, all I wanted was to break your heart. All you ever did was wreck me.
Eli, I can't help but notice that you put this song on at least once a visit, if not twice. Did something happen to you? Are you doing all right?
That's a loaded question there, Ken. I got my heart broke.
Hey, is anyone there? Did you
Oh,
guys
thank
back?
Roland, get your grit. They got a grit for excellent roleplay. That was perfect. You get a grit, Roland.
Also, add the spur to the till. You're keeping track of that, right?
Oh, sure.
Sure. Excellent.
Oh, it's gonna be factored into your average daily. Don't worry.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. Perfect.
I do real quick want everyone to imagine the Wrecking Ball music video, but it's just Johnny Cash on it.
Turn on his guitar. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Same
Too
outfit.
many close-ups of his face.
Yeah, so you hear Roland through the radio, and I think that is actually where we're going to take a break.
All right.
So we're going to take a brief break. I got 10:06 on the clock. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll be back at 10:16. So everyone, get a drink, refresh yourself, get some snacks, get ready for the second part of this episode. Pax survived!
I'm
All right.
sorry.
We'll be back. And we're back. Just got this dog staring at the camera. All right. So, Roland is under the protection of the Acostas, saying that he believes Severina is being framed for murder. Kinsey and Pax are back at the saloon with Marshall Yen and Eli. The radio has just clicked on Kinsey. Roland has spoken through it. You interrupt Eli's conversation about the time he got his heart broken. As you rush over to the radio, and he goes, "All right," and then takes a drink, and then kind of sits there in a stupor.
Roland, do you copy?
Oh, good. You're fine, I assume.
Well, Pax almost didn't make it, but she's okay now.
What? No.
I'll tell you about it later. Where are you? What's going on?
I'm in essentially a waiting room to speak to Severina Acosta.
I'm sorry, just going to talk to her? Why am I surprised?
You were kidnapped. I apologize if thinking perhaps there wasn't time to do the sort of subtle version of this investigation.
Well, look, the finer points are, it was Sierra Phillips who took me. She is working as a Jimmy for the Gatti family, who are very annoyed with us for taking their things and tricking them.
Yes.
Oh, Kinsey, I already told him all that.
Oh, you told him about the... Wait, so what are you doing with Severina Costa?
Well, I figured that, three of you were solving the immediate Sierra Phillips wants to kill us problem. I'm trying to solve the Gatti family wants to kill us problem.
What? All right, then carry on. I have complete faith in you. Do you need backup or anything?
No, it's going fine for the most part. If you do see more security officers outside Umbra's, I wouldn't antagonize them. They have been antagonized enough for the moment.
Should
They've
we
been antagonized exactly the right amount for the moment.
Well done. Does that mean should we open up and pretend as if everything's normal, or stay cooped up?
No, I mean, yeah, you should open up. Yeah, open up.
Right, we'll do. Roland, please be careful. This could go very, very badly for us.
Are you just now realizing that?
I just, sometimes I like to over-communicate, so I need to make sure that you know it, because I think we all know it, right?
Yeah, well, I've got to go pour a drink's worth of whiskey down a toilet. Okay, I'll probably be back tomorrow in the evening, I would guess.
All right, well, I'll leave the radio on just in case, okay?
Okay, do not contact me. I will contact you.
Oh, no, yes, for sure. Thank you for over-communicating. I appreciate that.
All right.
Hold on, before you go, what was your call sign?
We didn't make one up.
Oh, okay. Should you have one? I feel weird saying Roland over an unsecure frequency.
The only other person who has access to this frequency is the Cloud Cutters, who are now the Riveteers, who you're literally related to.
Well, you never know who's listening in the city.
They might show up. You should be ready for that. I think some of you got kidnapped.
Oh, great. Is there an LRC between here and where they are? Or, where are they? Oh, dear.
I do not know. It's the nature of long form communication on this planet we've all lived on for a number of years.
Well, perhaps if they come in within radio distance, they'll hail us before they enter the city. Otherwise, I guess I'll just keep my eye out.
I mean, you can send an LRC.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, basically just keep an eye out. Just wanted
Alright.
you to have a heads up.
Well, good luck then.
Oh, and if Marv and the gang come by the bar, tell them they still owe me the rest of the day, and I will collect at some point.
All right. I don't know what that means, but I'll
They
tell
will.
them. Fair enough. Good
Uh,
luck, Roland.
Kinsey, you didn't disappear for this conversation, right? Like Pax, you can hear all this and all that.
Right, yeah, I think I'm just behind the bar.
Okay. I just didn't know if you had anything to add, Pax.
No? I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Did Kinsey ask him where he is?
So where exactly is this waiting room, Roland?
Well, it's sort of a rather very nice apartment on, the upper mid-level. It has its own restroom, which is quite nice. I am locked in, but that's sort of by design.
It's like
That
the
makes sense.
east ward or something of the central level. You're able to give them enough instruction to know where you are.
East ward of the central level. Okay, I've got that memorized and I'll write it down later when I have time.
Okay. Just can you hear me? Are you pushing the button?
Here, I'll stick it in the thing.
Roland, just I know you're really smart and everything, and I do trust you, but just be really careful. Just be really careful. They're maybe not as smart as you, but there are a lot more of them.
I promise you, I will be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Eli, I'm getting your drink now. Calm down.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What do you know then?
And I'll open up the bar for business.
Okay.
So as Kinsey's opening up the bar, I will take Marshall Yen and show him where he can rest.
In the back room.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is it in like one of the? Are you letting him sleep in Roland's hammock?
If he wants to sleep in Roland's hammock, he can. I can also take Roland's hammock because I have an actual bed, which is nicer.
It's pretty high up.
People don't look up.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's Kinsey's bed. You probably don't want to sleep in that one, but Roland's, mine. We've also got an extra bedroll somewhere if you want to sleep in none of those places, but you should probably get some rest, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. He like looks up at the bed for a second longer. I'll go ahead and I'll sleep in Roland's hammock. You can have your bed.
Okay.
And then he does choose to rest at that moment.
Just come into the kitchen if you need anything. Don't come out to the main room. That way. We don't have like a rough and tumble clientele, but
I
we're
mean,
not used to the law down here.
It's fine. I'll try to be out of your guys' hair in the next couple days.
You're not.
I just figured you have your thing going on, so. You probably
There's-
don't want.
Always a thing going on.
I just don't want to
Kind of Roland
impose.
whole thing is that he's always got a thing.
Yeah, I heard. Anyways, this will do me fine. I'll go ahead and get some shut eye.
Okay.
And Pax?
Yeah.
Glad you made it.
Me too. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a very nice accommodations, he says. And then he tries to get in the hammock smoothly, but no one can get in a hammock smoothly.
I can get into a hammock smoothly.
So he's like, it swings up one way as he tries to get in, and then he like has to like kick his legs over and kind of roll into that weird little like. Now he's trapped, and then like inch himself back over, and he's like, "You're gonna turn out the light."
Okay.
That
not a problem for
motherfucker
Roland,
better not
because
get
he's
blood on
ready.
my memory foam pillow.
So
It
nice
will
pillow.
remember.
Yeah. and I just,
Do you come back out into the kitchen?
Yeah.
I'm there preparing the meadowflower seeds with a little bit of Munson spice so I can just have some bar snacks out. I'm like, no. You need to sleep too. Go to bed. I'm not doing the kitchen today, and I've already sent for Harry. When she shows up, we can get the kitchen going. Just you should sleep too. I mean it.
Okay.
Go on.
All right.
Shoo.
I'm going. God.
Crazy kids. And I'm gonna set up. Hang out with you,
I guess I go to bed.
Okay. Partway through that kind of evening time where Kinsey's running the bar, Roland is waiting. Pax, there's a point where you hear in the darkness of the room, Pax, you up?
Yeah.
This pillow's nice. This hammock ain't so great.
You could come up here if you want. It's a real bed.
All right then. Cut away.
Two of them are just so bad at flirting.
Kinsey, you're running the bar, and later in the evening, way later, Roland's probably actually resting at this point. Kinsey, you're running the bar. Both was Hazel and I forgot your dealer's
Eugene.
name. Eugene. Hazel and Eugene are both they got the day off. They were told they would be paid to not work today.
Oh, that's right. Sure.
But you're able to bring Harry in. She's a little hard to get to, but you managed to like put out word with like, you know, just people in the lower level being like, hey, have you heard about Harry? Can you sort out? Like, and it's pretty late in the night. Eli has left at this point. The bar's pretty empty. You're just kind of awake and like cleaning things down. And you're alone, and the door slides open. You look up and you see Harry there.
Well, good evening to you, Harry.
And then she rushes up and gives you a hug.
Oh, I guess you heard.
I'm glad you're all right.
I appreciate it. You know, luckily, Pax and her friend showed up just in the nick of time. So,
Did everyone make it all right?
so far everything's running smoothly. We'll see how Roland comes back to us, but it'll probably be sometime tomorrow.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, Roland is just trying to solve the problem of, well, sorry, who was it you're trying? It's the canoes, right? You're trying to.
Oh yeah, Salem is a friend.
All right, yeah.
I mean, but why? Wait, what is Roland up to? How did things go with Salem? I mean, I didn't get to see him afterwards.
I mean, talking with him went, I think, as smoothly as talking to any member of the family could possibly go, and again, have Roland to thank for that. But he kind of tasked us with figuring out who killed his friend, so the being kidnapped kind of put a damper on that. I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. And right now, Roland is elsewhere.
She sits there for a little bit, unsure what to say, and she goes, so you need me to attend bar, yeah? So you can get some shut-eye?
I'd appreciate it. Would you like something to eat before I go to bed? I mean, you always look so skinny.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a minute. I'll eat.
All right. Just hold down the fort for a second. I'd like to make her something nice and comforting, so I think something that comes from my personality and my heart at that moment.
Yeah. Absolutely, I would like you... Oh, from your personality, from your heart.
Oh, that's bad.
No, but I will let you... So you roll... Go ahead and roll. You can still roll tenacity, because that is the basis of your cooking.
Right.
Since you're trying to be a little more emotional with it than you normally are, I will give you a negative. We'll put you at a
Sure.
-2.
-2, sure.
It's like a called shot making of a meal.
Cooks through sheer force of will, but it doesn't taste good.
Wow. Man, that's 4 hits. Didn't even have to use my reliability for that one.
Fantastic. So you make an excellent little spread for her, like several different food groups. You even break open the cooler to like grab some of the like fruits that you have.
He opens the cooler, his finger's in there.
Oh yeah, your finger is in there.
There you are, old friend. Give a little pet. Move off to the side.
And you grab some grapes.
Some grapes and slices of cheese. I make her a little dip and some crackers.
Yeah, and you bring it out. And you walk out, and she is like sitting there. She's like getting things sorted behind the bar, and then she looks over and sees the truly nice meal that you've made her. Like, you've made her meals before on the fly. Like, you obviously didn't need to put all this work into this meal. And she bursts into tears.
Hey, now, it's all right. I'm sorry, are you lactose intolerant?
No, God, no. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You know, it's really late, and you know, it's just it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I'll use the spigot and give her a little pour of soda water. Come on now, what's going on?
I think I messed up, Kinsey. I messed up bad. I don't know. Where's Roland?
What did you do?
Where's Pax? I was gonna tell. I was maybe. Gonna...
Hold on, I'll go get her. She needs to hear this, I think. I'll knock on the door.
Pax, you and Leonard are awoken.
It's presumptuous of you.
This hours later. Come on.
Should I?
No. Stay. I'll be right back. Okay.
Give him a little kiss.
Ah.
And yeah, and then I'll like. Kinsey, what's up?
Sorry, Pax. Harry's here. I think something might be wrong.
Oh,
She's okay, but she's a little bit shaken.
okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. And I'll like go out to the front or wherever she is.
She looks a little more put together at this point. She's eaten a little bit of the food, and she's just kind of sitting there. And she looks at you, and like tears well up in her eyes again. And then she looks down, and like kind of steals herself away.
I flipped the sign on the door, just in case, you know.
Hey.
Hey, is that? She like points at her throat.
I'm okay.
Okay.
What's up?
I did something. I've been doing something not so great, and I didn't think that I had much of a choice, and I honestly don't know that I do anymore still, but it's just, you know, Kinsey got taken, you had to run off, and I think maybe you guys hired me, and I did appreciate it, and it was really good, and you've been showing me lots of great stuff, and paying me really well. I know I'm a shit bartender, but I just, you know, when Mr. Riggs came to collect, you know, payment, he saw me, and I kind of work for Morales from time to time. I mean, she's the one who gives us all work, and you know, I don't work for her all the time. I mean, you know, since Salem, I caught the eye of Salem, I do business for the Canoons from time to time. Nothing big. I mean, I'm not trying to brag or nothing. It's mostly just moving stuff around. But I mean, you know, Morales, she kind of controls everything around here, and well, so she, you know, Mr. Riggs must have told her that I work for you guys, and so she called me in shortly after, and well, she just, you know, three drifters in the station, she, you know, she told me to, I've been telling her what's been going on around here.
So she knows about Ephraim?
Yeah, she knows everything. I didn't, you know, I mean, I didn't tell her, like, you know, she kind of put it together, but I didn't, you know, tell her that I was thinking you guys was gonna do something against it, but like, I mean, she must have seen it from the get-go. She must have known that you guys were, you know, were something that she had to keep an eye on. She told me to keep an eye on you, and I mean, I thought, you know, she's called the shots for so long, but I think you're right. I think she has something to do with Ephraim's death, and I don't know. I figure maybe Salem can protect us, the whole Umbras, right? I mean, if you're working with Salem now, right? Then
if we're working with Salem, were working with Salem. We weren't working for the family. What you've done is put us under the protection of the family, which makes us beholden to them.
But they ain't so bad. They pay their people good. I mean,
I understand that comparatively, between Captain Morales and Salem Bahara, perhaps, yes, they probably treat their people fine. I'm sorry, that's not the point right now. So right now, sorry, are you still working for Captain Morales now?
I mean, as far as she knows, yeah. It's not like I sent her a severance letter or nothing. No, I just. You know.
I have to believe that you care more about Roland's safety than your bond with Captain Morales, and so I'll tell you this.
I wouldn't be telling you nothing if I was still working for her. I mean, at this
Roland's about to talk to Severina Acosta.
What?
And
About what?
I always go into these things thinking that I know what Roland's going to say or the deals that he's going to make, and almost always I'm completely wrong. So I couldn't tell you that. But he is trying to get that particular family off of our backs, which I believe puts us in direct conflict with perhaps Captain Morales, depending on who she is most working for.
I mean, that's kind of what I was saying. I think she mostly works for the Canoons, right? So
For the Canoons.
If I can convince Salem to kind of make his relationship with you a little more known, you know, to step up for you, then Morales gets off your back, she gets off my back, and we can make the best of this thing, right? And it doesn't matter what you're trying to do, and you know, we can work with Salem. Salem's, you know, reasonable. If you guys got beef with Morales, we can make something happen. We can do something. I don't know how Acosta factors into that, but Salem's real smart. He can figure something out.
I mean, what Salem would probably figure out is a way to put the Canoons in control via station, if anything. I mean, taking out somebody that he has a working relationship with, that would come with a cost.
Pax, you've been real quiet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know,
Carrie. Okay. So, what I'm gonna say sounds initially bad. Okay. What you did is pretty bad. It puts us in a not great spot. Because the thing is that with Roland's skill set and with Kinsey's skill set, we can almost always work our way out of a situation if we have the information. So it isn't great. That, I think, was a mistake. But I think it's an understandable mistake. And I'm not mad at you. Okay?
okay.
Okay. And we're gonna be fine.
Okay.
Okay. So, but I think, if it's okay with you, maybe you hang out with us, do your shift, pick the music on the jukebox. Okay? And Kinsey and I will figure it out. And you're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
I mean, I really think if we just, you know, talk to Salem.
So here's the thing about that. Salem gave us a job to do. He wants us to find out who killed Ephraim. And until we do that, we're not assets. So we have to resolve that first. And then maybe we'll talk to him. and maybe he'll be able to protect us. He already likes you. He can already protect you. But we want to protect you too. So, just hang out. And Kinsey and I are going to talk it over, and I'm not mad. And I think the thing that the thing you learn from this is that you got to figure out, even if you're in a corner, you got to figure out who is the person you want to stand in the corner with. Right? Because even if you're backed into a corner, someone can always join you there and help you. Okay? You don't have to operate out of fear. You don't. You're so powerful.
That's easy for you to say.
No, I'm talking about you.
I can't do what you do, Pax. It took
Neither
me 2
can
weeks to
I.
figure out a lock Roland made.
Well, if at your age, I wouldn't have been able to do it at all.
Yeah. You sound like Salem now.
What? Maybe he's right. Maybe you start listening to me and him. Maybe you're not like so bad.
So I can put whatever I want on the jukebox, yeah?
Within reason.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. What are you?
She like looks around.
What did I just say? What are you?
Strong.
Say it or you can't touch the... Mm-hmm. And?
No, she said powerful.
Powerful.
You gotta say it.
No,
Say it.
say the whole
I
sentence.
am powerful. And then you can do whatever you want.
I am powerful.
Alright. God, you don't have to like be weird about it.
You're making it weird, not me.
You're making it weird.
Whatever. I'm gonna go put on some music.
Alright, fine.
Eat your dinner. Okay?
All right. Jeez. She like grabs the plate and walks over to the jukebox with the plate.
I guess we go back to the kitchen.
Yeah, we go to the kitchen.
So this isn't great.
This is very bad.
No, that's very, very bad. Well, I don't imagine Roland's going to antagonize the coasters as much as possible, but if it's what it's just weird, right? It's weird that Captain Morales knows about Ephraim and just kind of lets Roland walk in and talk about it, right? What is going on?
I don't know. The thing is that I'm pretty sure something that Leonard said was that this is neutral territory.
Right.
And that all of the families have to kind of operate with permission, and that through the station master and Sergeant Morales, Captain Morales,
Captain, I think.
they control the station. They control the tempo of the station. And so what I kind of am worried about is that they, of course they don't share information that's like, for their families only or whatever, but like I'm worried that they share information to keep the peace, and that the power balance is at the moment off, because as far as we know the Gatees didn't
clear what happened to us.
Right.
And so now Morales, who has left us unaccosted for months, knowing everything, means that she doesn't think we're a threat in that arena.
Not only that,
She has
I
a
think
plan.
she
She
thinks-
has a backup plan.
I think we're doing so far exactly what she wants us to.
Yeah. And so hopefully whatever Roland is doing works,
Hopefully.
and he's not just gonna be taken by surprise,
Roland.
stabbed in the back. Like, he might see it coming, but like that doesn't stop them from doing it. So there's nothing we can do. If we go over there and we try to get him out, we're leaving. We're leaving this whole station.
I don't think there's any chance of us going to break him out that doesn't end in all of us dead.
I mean, eventually, but we could, hook up with your mom, or like go to the wastes. Or,
Oh God!
right? Like, we would have some time.
Look,
but I don't think that's what Roland would want to do.
You're right. I think we have to wait for Roland. I think best case scenario.
He calls us and we tell him.
Well, absolutely regarding this, but I mean regarding the whole situation, I think best case scenario, the Canoons acted against Ephraim without consent of Salem Bahara, which puts Salem at war with his own family rather than at war with us.
Yeah, I think Roland's plan was to deflect on blame onto Captain Morales.
Well, right now in this situation, we've got three prominent families involved.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Roland pit them all against each other, and then also somehow against the other two.
Yeah. But I
don't.
So
now I need to sleep. Oh my God.
So we pack a bag.
All right.
We're not leaving, but
No. Just we have to be ready.
yeah. Okay. And I guess I'll take a shift with Harry. And yeah.
So, Kinsey and Pax, you pop out for a second into the main bar. Harry is sitting on the jukebox, eating the last of her food. And Kinsey? Bobby Klein is playing.
Yes. What?
And it starts off, it's like...
How did you figure it out? I don't fucking believe it.
It's like a very twangy, like, instrumental intro for a while. Like, that's like, you catch it first, right? Like, no lyrics have been said yet. Yes, you're walking, you're like, wait a second. And you, like, walk out, and she's sitting there, and she's, like, just, like, shoveling your food into her mouth, and, like, sitting on the thing, and, like, eating, and, like, nodding her head, and, like, kicking her feet. And you realize, right before the lyrics start, you're like, wait a second. No, this is a Bobby Klein song. I've heard this one. And it's, Grifter went down to Waypoint. He was looking for some spurs to steal. He was on vine because he was way behind. He was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man picking on a banjo and playing it hot, and the Grifter jumped on a hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I bet you don't know, but I'm a banjo player too, and if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play a pretty good banjo, boy, but give a Grifter his due. I bet a banjo of gold against your spurs, cause I think I'm better than you.
I'll go up to Harry. Am I a good distance away from Pax? Is the music loud enough that I can...
Yeah. And Pax is like getting the bar ready, and Harry's just kind of sitting there and like eating food. You're able to walk over to her really quick.
How'd you get this to play?
Wasn't that hard.
You're very good, you know that. You're very good.
Look, it ain't hard to notice. If you wanna make it a little more convincing, you gotta make the song line up with whatever it says is playing. Make up a fake artist or something. Also, I don't know why you're hiding this guy. This guy's good.
Don't tell Pax. Don't tell Roland this is happening, alright?
What, is this you or something? This guy's really good. I love his stuff.
That's very kind. No, it's on me. I'm not as talented as... His name's Bobby Klein, alright?
Oh, yeah? I never
Yeah,
heard of him.
He's based around, what's the name of the town?
Soldina.
He's based around Soldina. He's not big yet, but I'm planning to make him the biggest star in all the Badlands.
She like hops off of the jukebox, finishes her plate, and goes, how's he going to be the biggest star if you're hiding that you're playing him? She,
Well,
like,
honestly...
drops
I'm
her
counting-
fork on the plate, like with a point, like as if it's a period
Yeah.
or a sentence.
I was planning on maybe, like a record salesman pops in and I can like secretly put it on and then he'd hear it and be like, this guy's really good, But
You think a lot of musical industry people come through the lower levels of Tobias Station? You think that's a thing?
you never know,
Mm-hmm.
Look,
And you
point
think if that does happen, you'd be able to tell that that's what they do.
I'd assume they'd be bragging about it,
Look, I don't know what their deal is with this guy, but this guy, I mean, he's better than half the people in this box. He should get his own button. Give him a button. Kinsey, give him a button.
Right, look, I'll come up with another artist name, just like, don't say
Nah, we're
who
way
it
past
is.
that. Give him a button.
Look, no.
Hey, Pax!
No, God damn it!
Pax!
What is happening?
Nothing's happening. It's all right. Nothing's happening. We're just, I'm going to get some shut eye, and Harry's going to take care of the bar, right, Harry?
I don't know. She looks at the jukebox, looks at you. Pax, who do you think this is?
Give him the button. Right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it says it's Susan Green. Does it sound like a Susan Green to you?
No. Is it broken?
No, it's not broken.
Uh,
Do you like this song, Pax?
It's okay. It's a little twangy, but
I like it.
Harry really likes it.
I do. This is one of my favorites. This ain't the first time I played in the bar, but, the only other person who put it on was Kinsey.
Kinsey.
God, yeah, I know.
Is
Don't
this?
don't tell Roland, okay?
Is
It's Bobby
this
Klein.
Bobby
It's Bobby
Klein?
Klein. Yes.
Why didn't you play this song?
I just liked his earlier works. It's so more
No,
raw.
that
and
is
really,
bad. That is
okay.
bad. This is okay. Maybe good. It's okay. It's twangy. It's too twangy for me.
Right. I mean, it is a banjo song, so.
Yeah.
But there are a few acoustic guitar. There's that one where he's playing with the band that's not bad, right?
Have I heard that?
I'll put it on next. You know.
I just looked at, so like they consider chorus is like, fire on the mountains, run boys run. Grifters in the house of the rising gun. That's it. I just noticed that there was rising sun in I didn't realize the self-referential narrative of Bobby Klein songs until just now.
the Bobby Klein cinematic universe.
All right. I won't tell Roland, but I mean, this isn't like bad.
Tell you what, I'll give him a button, Harry, and if Roland happens to come by and notice that there's Bobby Klein, I hope that he will just put it on without question, just to see if that's correct, and then he'll be impressed. Right? That's a good plan.
I mean, just make sure it doesn't play the earlier stuff that we've heard and almost killed you over. But
Wait, you almost killed me.
I mean, you almost got dead, but like...
That doesn't sound like it's any different.
I mean, I didn't. We just remember we walked separate ways, and then you ran into
right.
that
You know,
scavenger, and
that's
then
fair.
he tried to like get us killed, and I went
Yes.
the other way.
Right.
Right.
Good move for you. I should have gone that way.
I wonder how she is.
Who cares?
Hey, she was nice. I mean, not really.
Eventually. I'm gonna work on putting a button on the
I
jukebox.
think I gave her a gyrocopter.
You gave her something to leave on. I don't remember what
Anyway.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinsey, when you go back there, Leonard's asleep, so don't. Just be quiet.
Be quiet, of course.
Yeah, you two should rest up. I can run the bar. I mean, even Eli's not here, right?
Do you want to be alone?
I mean, you'll wake up if I shout, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And so Kinsey and Pax, you go into the back room to rest up. And Pax starts climbing up to her lofted bed. And Kinsey, you notice the hammock is empty. And so is your bed. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Fantastic. All right, cool. So we have questions on the Discord, and let's see what we got. Oh dear, so many notifications on my Discord. All right, so moving on to Q&A. Any of you have questions in the chat? Now's the now is the time to post them in there if you have any questions, and then we will move on to what we have in the, I guess, Kickstarter and Backer Kit exclusive Discord. First question comes from Argetlom, saying, can a chicken walker mount weaponry? And then he does do a link, which I can't show on the stream, but it's just like a link to Magitech armor from Final Fantasy, which is basically just like, kind of like, I don't know a good reference to it. It's sort of like bipedal walkers with missiles on either side, but magic. Anyways, he says, how hard would it be to build one into something like this minus the actual magic involved? Extremely easy, because you can put a weapon on a Rooster Strider. I'm pretty sure.
That's funny.
What?
Sorry. No, I was like, I knew chicken walker wasn't correct, but I couldn't remember the actual what we called it, which is Rooster Strider, which I think is.
I did the same thing. That's really
I
funny.
love that so much. I love that's like a colloquialism for sure.
Actually, it's a Rooster Strider. Yeah, incredibly easy to make something similar to that, because Rooster Striders, I believe, have enough body to get decent weapon mounts, and you can get a driver-operated weapon mount, you can get a passenger-operated weapon mount.
I've just double-checked. Every single vehicle in the entire game has enough mod points that you can put a gun on.
As
This
it should be.
includes- This includes, notably and most hilariously, a jet ski, a jetpack.
Mm-hmm.
These are the funniest examples.
Yeah, so the body of the vehicle determines like the size of the weapon mount, but like yeah, all of them you can put a thing on a thing. I couldn't look. I am a fan of Star Wars, the Mandalorians, and I could not have there be a jetpack that couldn't shoot a thing out of it.
The jet ski is way funnier.
Yes, no, the jet ski is great. I think there's like a James Bond thing where that happens.
It's a harpoon gun mounted on a jet ski.
I also like the idea of a fan boat with like a missile launcher, so the fan has to be turned up really high so it doesn't shoot back.
Yeah, you can absolutely make a Rooster Strider that is similar to Magitech armor. You can make it. You can even give it like extra armor so that the people inside it are safer, and give it big old weapons. It's super easy to do. And then we have a couple questions from Don13, and I meant to think a little bit harder on this one. I hope I can come up with something. Are there any interesting beasts with a symbiotic relationship with each other in the world of Manifest? And I like something in my head makes me feel like there is one, but I was having trouble earlier when I read this question, like conjuring one out of, and I didn't do the prep work necessary to confirm that there was one. I feel like there is though. I know it's not in the core rules, but there is the potentiality for a Tailypo.
Yeah, that's the one that came to mind for me.
Yeah, which the Tailypo is not going to make it into the core rule book, but it may be in a future source book. Ooh. And the Tailypo is based on the legend of like a dog who like is looking for its tail, and the idea behind it is that it is actually the Tailypo is like one creature that is actually two creatures together. One creature that is the tail, which is like kind of a symbiote. When the larger dog-like creature like hibernates, the like tail goes out, and the tail looks a lot like a snake. And if someone kills the snake, the larger creature wakes up and knows exactly where that person is and goes after them.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so like you wake up and you think there's a snake in your sleeping bag, and you like stab it, and it turns out it's the tail of a Tailypo. You know that it's gonna come for you because that's like how it hunts. Is like these like symbiotic creatures like leave its body and move out, and then when they get killed, it wakes up and uses that as its means to hunt. But we don't have the exact the canon around that perfect yet because it's not in the core rulebook, but. It is something along those lines for sure. Otherwise, I feel like there's something maybe with Sharoofs and lava bears.
Well, Sharoofs and lava bears are sort of like mitochondrially like the same. They're like like made basically of like hives of like bacteria that only lives in like extreme heat, basically, which makes an entire entity. And depending on the like strain of that bacteria determines whether it's a lava bear or a Sharoof. The only other thing I can think of, which isn't really symbiotic exactly, is the fur-bearing trout.
Yeah, it's symbiotic with the like ecosystem.
Yeah, they make the ecosystem like they're like this sort of like it's not really normalizing, but sort of like sustaining like the status quo. They are sort of like the cleaners of the rivers, and then they drop all that toxic stuff into the toxic lake, which allows for the freshwater stuff to live in fresh water and all the toxic stuff to live in the toxic lake. And without them sort of like maintaining that like
balance in the ecological system, kind of everything would get really messed up pretty quickly. So there's that.
Y'all want to see what a sharoof looks like?
Yeah, yeah.
Give it a second.
Whoa, fucking brutal. Yeah, that's dope.
Thank
Wait,
you.
is that our picture? Did
That's-
Crystal do that?
Yeah, Crystal did that. That's
What?
Addie, that's the art that's going in the rule book.
Cool.
That's such good art. Oh my god.
Well, it broke. It focused so quickly last time. I thought I could do it a second time, but then it was like, nah.
Do you
No,
have the
this is-
fur-bearing trout too? Because I think originally Kinsey's hat was made out of fur-bearing trout, which
I do. Hilariously, it happens to be in the same.
Oh, perfect.
Very easily.
This,
There's
is
a
your,
fur-bearing.
this is your blurry picture of Bigfoot version of these.
Of the shrew.
That's funny.
This
Yeah.
one's good. This one's clear. We're good. Yeah. So that's the sharoof and the woolly trout is what it's called.
Woolly
It's a-
trout, that's
it's a
right.
woolly trout.
Oh yeah, that's right. We renamed it.
Yeah. If you want to read more about the woolly trout, go to our Kickstarter page. We have a whole write-up on them.
I wrote a lot on it. Too
We
much.
had to cut a lot to make it so it was an appropriate length for a Kickstarter update.
Sure, weird.
All right. So hopefully that's a little informative, and you got to see some cool art. So yay. All right. Another question from Dawn13 is you can probably tell where I am in the stream by this question, but Umbra plushie, when?
Anytime. I'm so into it.
Yeah,
I love it so
like,
much.
As soon as you said it, I was like, I guess soon. It's like once like conventions are back on, right? Like once we get like conventions going and we're able to like
We
actually.
could connect with the people who do the crocanana. And then maybe I could get a crocanana too.
You can talk to those people who are weirdly thematically juxtaposed, but are somehow related to Catalyst Game Labs, who are selling like these very adorable plushies next to the extremely grimdark cyberpunk future of Catalyst Game Labs booth, because they're like both from Seattle.
Yeah, so we're always trying to think up other things we can add. Like once the COVID-19 crisis gets to a point where it's under control and conventions can happen again, even if it's conventions not necessarily in the States, we are going to try and be there selling our book and other products. And now I like something that's always going to be on the docket now that you suggested it is going to be, what if we make a jackalope plushie? And what if that jackalope looks a lot like Umbra? I am super on board for it because I don't. Unfortunately, the dog is no longer cutely sitting behind me, but I accidentally made Umbra have the exact same coloration of our dog, with like the little brown eyebrows and stuff. And I want an Umbra plushie now, and I don't think I'll be able
Dag
to.
would love to destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to rest until I have an Umbra plushie that is made. That's when I know we'll have made it. Yeah, Arget Lam in the chat says stuffed ache, which is what's featured in in the Essential NPCs podcast. We had a stuffed ache that was a prize at the carnival.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, because they saw a dude come in on an ache, and they're like, we can finally sell this stuffed ache. Quick, make it the grand prize at one of the prizes. Perfect. All right. I don't see any other questions in the stream chat. I don't have any other questions here on the Discord. If you have any questions in the stream chat, now would be the time. Meanwhile, we haven't had the time to do this in a while. Did any of you hit any triggers that we didn't bring up yet? I know Roland got 2.
A piece of gear was modified or repaired. We flashed back to weld a thing so I could say nice things to Kinsey.
Well done.
I don't think money was stolen using subtle means that I can think of.
No, you weren't pickpocketed by the family or anything. Kinsey or Pex?
I don't think I hit any of my triggers.
I was threatened with violence.
People were threatened with violence.
I guess, yeah, you were
I
threatened
was
with violence.
explicitly threatened with violence.
Yeah, that's right. An open fight is avoided through underhanded means.
Roland.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe Roland just procced all my stuff.
Secretly an outlaw,
You take
guys.
something you want but don't deserve. I don't think I did that.
Don't forget you get a grit
Unless
pex.
it's my life. And you put yourself in harm's way for no reason than to protect others, which I got last time. So I'm pretty sure I didn't get this time unless my protecting Harry counts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
all right. Well, I got 3 then, so I'm a big liar.
Okay, we're at 6.
I triggered. You do not hesitate to commit to a dangerous course of action,
Right.
which I mentioned. A trap is utilized successfully. Was Roland trapped into he's locked in a room now? Are they planning on keeping him there?
You can't give out that trigger without revealing what's going to happen next session.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But you can have it because Roland
Got ambushed.
ambushed by the security team. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Right? Because he was moving
Awesome,
on his
that's
way, and they brought him along. Hey, cut it.
A predator was evaded.
I did that. That was
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
yeah. So the captain, Captain Morales.
I was thinking Leo, but sure.
Well, yeah, that's fair. And then an animal was used to solve a problem. The problem of transporting all of our hurt people and a body back to the station. Wouldn't have been able to do it without Umbra.
You could have done it, just would have taken longer.
What you're saying is
Would've been
that
a problem,
used
though.
the animal to solve a problem.
That's all of them, and I will take that.
Fine, you get it.
It's a low bar on that one, Tommy.
It is a higher bar when someone is not mortally injured. It's the reason the animal was used to solve the problem was because if you had walked, they would have had to recover out in the wild, and that would have been bad.
They aren't in their element,
body,
so.
and no one wants to do that. It's gross.
Yeah. So, just traveling on an animal doesn't count as an animal being used to solve a problem, but in this particular instance, you had a problem. You had to get back to Tobias Station, get back to Roland. The animals got you there faster. 10 XP.
So we're
Alright.
at 370 now?
Oh,
371.
oh, those poor idiots. Those poor dumb idiots.
Did you just
Who
level
said,
up?
we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Did you guys just level up?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Dan, would you like to tell the audience what you're planning on taking this level up?
Okay, so I've been saving up for a really long time to get a tier 4 Moxie talent. And a lot of things have come up along the way where it's been like, oh no, I actually really need to get good at initiative very quickly. So here's what rehearsal does. When you finish resting, like perhaps say at the end of a night after someone has told you, we'll speak to you tomorrow, you roll a personality attribute only test. Every single success you get on this test, you bank, and you can use to give anyone in any social test against you a -2 per success you spend for the rest of the day until your bank is empty.
Yeah, Roland just wakes up, looks in the mirror, and goes, all right, let's try a few lines. He's prepared for literally any social situation. That's great. I'm both happy and upset that I got you there. I'm like, yay, and also, oh no. Fantastic. Cool. So we will be back on again in a week's time, which is September 22nd. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Come join us. Pax is still alive, so
Yay.
that's nice. Credit to Kinsey. You saved her. Good job. And credit to Roland. He gave the little bonus, which is great.
I helped.
The +7 may have factored into things.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, because we saw what happened when you rolled without a +7.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that follow button, and if you can, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have your subscription. We'd love to continue improving this stream for all of y'all. But for now, we will leave you with the beautiful twangy tones of Waypoint by Seth Lilly. Goodbye.